Kickstarter strategy. Everyone in the crowdfunding space has an opinion on this, and nowhere is this truer than if you are in the board game world or you're planning to launch a new product. But what does it actually look like to run a successful campaign in 2025? At GAMA Expo this year, I sat in on a panel called Crowdfunding Best Practices. 3 experts took the stage: Nicole Amato from Kickstarter, Chen Xinyuan from Jellop, and Heather O'Neill from Level Games and BackerKit as well. Together, they've helped thousands of campaigns, and they have seen the good, the bad, and the ones that really should have waited for another 6 months prior to launching. So I took a ton of notes just sitting there, and I want to break down the most important advice that they shared and that I remember. 10 key tips that can help you launch smarter, avoid rookie mistakes, and actually deliver your product without going broke. Oh, and before I forget, my name's Brandon. I'm here on behalf of Fulfill Right. We've shipped for thousands of crowdfunding campaigns, from small indie projects to multi-million-dollar monsters. If you're planning to launch something, check out the links in the description. So that said, let's talk about what Kickstarter strategy really looks like now. There's no magic button, no algorithm that will make your campaign go viral. If you're hoping to throw a product on Kickstarter and just watch the money roll in, you're in for a rude awakening, I'm afraid to say. The panel made it clear: the most successful campaigns are prepared campaigns. So let's start with the first point. 1. Build your audience first. The campaign is the fire, promotion is the fuel, but you still need a fire. Someone said that on the panel, and I honestly really wish I wrote down who exactly said it, because it was just the perfect quote for this. A lot of creators, they think that Kickstarter brings the audience, but it doesn't. It just gives you a stage. If no one's in the seats when you open up that curtain, the show is going to be over before it begins. So you need to build the audience early. You need an email list, or maybe run a Discord, post some behind the scenes stuff. Let people test your product. Make it feel real before you actually launch. As Chen from Jellop said, if your campaign launches cold, you can't just throw ad money up at it and hope that it heats up later. Now, in order to make sure you don't launch cold, you need to make sure that 2, your product is basically done. Backers are tired of vague promises. They want something real, finished, tested, ready to go into production. Heather put it simply: if you're launching a game, the game better be done. You can tweak the rulebook later, but if you're still figuring out your core mechanics, not the time to launch. And Nicole from Kickstarter echoed this sentiment as well. Today's backers expect clear timelines, proof of development, and transparency. They're not waiting until 2027 for a mystery box. They want something they can believe in. If your product isn't done yet, wait. The last thing you want to do is lose trust or funding because you launched too early. And speaking of trust, please make sure that you set realistic goals and then fund fast. Funding quickly is still one of the biggest signals for success, but don't game the system. Don't set your goal low just so that you can get that funded in 24 hours badge if it means you can't actually deliver. Do the math. Know your average pledge. Know how many backers you need to break even, and then price your project accordingly. Chen had pointed out that campaigns can tank even after they fund, especially if creators underestimate shipping or overpromise on stretch goals. Sure, fund fast, but also fund smart. In order to increase your odds of doing that, you should 4. Make your page easy to skim. Backers don't read every word. They scan, so don't bury the good stuff. Your top section needs to do the heavy lifting for you. Show the product, explain what makes it special, highlight rewards and stretch goals clearly. Don't tuck your most exciting feature 3 scrolls down. Lead with it. Grab attention right away. Nicole pointed to Fit to Print as a great example. Strong visuals, clean layout, easy to follow. That's exactly what you want. Your page shouldn't feel like homework. Now let's go in a different direction here, and let's talk about a common mistake that you can avoid. Here's some advice. 5. Don't collect shipping during the campaign. I know this might sound weird, but shipping costs are volatile. Rates change. People move. Delays happen. All 3 panelists agreed. Collecting shipping upfront is risky. Instead, use a pledge manager like BackerKit. Wait until you have real quotes. Be honest on your page. Estimate what you can, but make it clear that it could shift. Now, Heather had also emphasized that backers are more forgiving when you are transparent. Just don't promise the moon and hope for the best. Build in some padding. Set expectations, avoid these landmines. Oh, and speaking of metaphorical landmines, that brings me to 6, which is be careful with stretch goals. Oh boy. Stretch goals can get you in trouble fast. Feature creep's real. It's easy to get caught up in backer excitement and throw in all these extras, but the extras cost money. Somebody's got to make them. Nicole had shared a particularly harrowing tale on that panel in which a creator had raised $27,000 more than expected and still lost money. Why? Shipping costs went up, stretch goals added complexity, and things started to spiral from there. Only offer stretch goals if you've priced them out and you know that you can deliver. Backers want the core product. They'll be happy if you do that well. But you're probably going to want to turn up the heat on marketing to make sure that your core product gets seen. So you should also really, 7, vet your marketing partners. Good marketing can boost your campaign, but bad marketing can waste your budget. Chen had made this point loud and clear. If someone promises huge results and they don't explain how it's going to work, you should turn the other way. Real partners walk you through the data. They explain the strategy. They're transparent. Ask around, look at past campaigns, get referrals, and trust your gut. You're going to be working with your marketing partner for a while, and that means that you need to be sure that you 8, plan for late pledges. Your campaign doesn't end when the clock runs out. Tools like BackerKit will let you keep selling both to new people and to existing backers who want more. Same for GameFound and other tools like that. So use it. Heather pointed out this is one of the easiest ways to boost revenue without adding stress during the launch window. Just don't overload your page during the campaign. Keep it clean. You can always offer extras later in the pledge manager, but you can't take back a bloated, confusing rewards list. This is just good communication after all. And speaking of that brings me to 9, which is communicate clearly and often. Once your campaign ends, the real work begins, and that is your backers still want to hear from you. So don't go dark. Updates don't need to be novels. Just keep people in the loop. Share progress, be honest about delays, and give them a peek behind the curtain. Heather had warned that long silences tend to cause panic, and Nicole added that frequent updates build trust. You're not just delivering a product here, what you're trying to do is manage expectations. Now that said, one last piece of advice for you from the panel 10, be aware of fraud. Look, it's rare, but it happens. Fake backers, pledge trolls, some kind of algorithm gaming. Nicole said that Kickstarter's trust and safety team stays on it, but you really need to stay alert too. If something feels off, like huge pledges from brand new accounts or strange refund behavior, report it. Don't base financial decisions on inflated totals. Wait until the payment's actually clear. Most backers are legit. Just don't let a scammer mess with your campaign and your head by believing something that seems a little too good to be true. Now, all of this said, here are my final thoughts. Kickstarter is no longer the Wild West. It's a platform with structure, expectation, and backers who are savvier than they used to be. The creators who succeed now are the ones who treat their campaigns like real businesses. They do the prep, they build their audience, and they plan for bumps in the road. And they communicate every single step of the way. So if you're launching this year, take this seriously. These are not just best practices we're talking about. This is the difference between a campaign that funds and ships and one that fizzles, even if it looks great on paper. Now, if you watch this video, you are probably still learning about, how Kickstarter works. So I'd like to share some other videos with you that you might find helpful as well. Check out How to Ship Your Kickstarter, a crash course. Here's how you calculate Kickstarter shipping costs. And should you ship your own Kickstarter? If you want to use a 3PL, but you want to make sure that you do it right, another one you can check out is how to find the right fulfillment company. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to like and subscribe, and don't forget to slap some postage on that bell so that we can express ship new videos to you as soon as they drop. Last but not least, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. We'll answer as many of them as we can. Thanks for watching.